really easier than you think to shift your mind to abundance. It's really easier than you think, like for real. You know, ironically, the first time I discovered that I have a scarcity mindset problem was this course called Work for a Living. So, why did I take this course called Work for a Living? Well, I took it at the recommendation of I took it at the recommendation of my mother, also my sister, but they made me understand what the course was about. It was about doing this course where they talk about work and the mindset needed when you're working, the mindset needed when you're looking for a job, right? It was basically the main crux of it was basically about your mindset and your attitude towards having a job or towards working, right? That's what it was mainly about, right? And so our teacher that was teaching us, or that was in front, he opened my eyes to things that they weren't open to, right? And yeah, man, he opened my eyes to things that I was not open to, right? Like how really, really, truly everything that you want, everything that you desire is in your whole own hands, essentially, right? So there were many stories of how about a lady who just went, who basically went to this hotel or motel that a couple owned, right? And she told them like, yo, do you have any spots for me? Then they said no. Like she persisted going to that same spot every single week. She persisted. Then they would say, oh, okay, there's this, and we'll pay you like for 3 hours of work. And then they paid it, and then she would continue, she would come and she would work, and no one told her that she was gonna get paid. No one told her what, she would get, but she would work. She would bring extra hands, she would bring value to that company. And so eventually, as she got a permanent job there, because they were like, yo, this person has been putting in time and effort, and she got the job she desired, right? But on the other hand, there was the story of this mother who, close to where she lives, not too far off, but there's a municipality building where people are standing in line for different things, and every week at a particular day, maybe a Friday or a Thursday, there's this long line of people wanting something. Oh yes, no, I remember, yes. They went there for grant money. They stood in line to go get grant money. So they stood in this long line at the municipal building like every week to go and get, or to enable the proper documents in order to get grant money. So this mother would go there, try to put her stand there. She would sell, maybe I'm a queen or still. She would sell what, like this. She would sell this particular food, right? That she was selling right there to the people that were in line. And she would sell it, and she would make money and make money, and then like she had enough money to be like, okay, I have transport money to go and apply for these different jobs, right? And then she thought, wait a minute, like I've been making this cash from just selling every week. I've been making this money from selling to these people. Do I really need a job? Like I'm making money every week selling this food that I'm good at. I'm good at baking this, bread, this milkweed, and the people love my food and they love the food that I make and I'm making money off it. Do I really need a job? And so those things, it opened me up. It opened me up to be like, yo, it's all in the mindset, bro. Like, it's all in the mindset and how you perceive things. You don't really, in order to make money, you don't really need anyone else, bro. Like, if we're being honest, you don't really need anyone else, right? Unless, right, it is a specific product, right? And the specific product that you're creating, right, you put your heart in it and you want to spread it to the world. You want to spread it nationwide. Then okay, that's when you really need, that's when you need help, right? You will always need people, don't get me wrong, right? You will need people for emotional help, social help. People need people, right? That is a fact. However, when it comes to making money and like in your own business, you don't necessarily, again, you don't necessarily need people. There are ways to get around it. There are ways to sell direct to consumer, right? But some people, they don't, they feel like, that's taking up a lot of my time. I don't want to spend my time, I don't want to spend 3 hours, 4 hours selling direct to consumer in the hot sun and just sitting there waiting for customers. Some people, they don't want that. So it's a thing of like, okay, how do you get around that? How do you maneuver that, right? But that's the story of that mother. It still proves a point. It still drives home a point. At whatever you desire, whatever you need, you already have the tools to it. Yes, you already have the tools to everything you desire. You already have the tools. And that was the main purpose of work for a living, was to really get it in your skull, get it in your mind that everything that you think, everything that you need, you already have. That is the type of mindset I walk the way with, right? I work for a living was such a great course, such a helpful course, you know. But the main reason why people went to work for a living course is that they would go there, they would also put their CV, they would attach their CV there, right? When they go there. So they would work for a living after you complete the course, right? But while you're doing the course, they would maybe send your CV to different companies, different connections that they have where they like need employees because they have connections to certain business owners or certain businesses. So they would send, these CVs, these contacts to these people, right? And so that's how it would go. But yeah, I eventually did get a job, but it turns out that job wasn't the right fit for me. Right? I would go there, I would be dedicated. I would be dedicated to work, I would work. But everything I did, it was always criticized by the manager, always criticized by the boss. Even the effort I would put in, it would be like, yo, nah, bro, like, uh-uh. Right? So I wasn't doing it right, apparently, that job. Even though I gave it my all, I just wasn't made for it, I realized. So they just said, nah, bro, you're a liability. So she basically lied and said, you know what? So, when I got paid, right? At first she lied and she was like, you know what? Yeah, take this money, right? And don't come to work next week. We'll call you. Yeah, we'll call you for work next week. I didn't get another call, so yeah. But I mean, I understood it. There's no hard feelings, right? I think what she was afraid, she was afraid of me maybe going to the trade unions or whatever, whatever. Which I wasn't really going to do. I wasn't ever. If she would have stood there and be like, look, we don't think you're a right fit for this job. We're paying you your wages for this week, and we're like, nah, we don't think you're the right fit for this job. I would have been like, oh, okay. I would have taken my L and went home. Like, it's not it's not that serious level for me to go to the trade unions. But I guess that boss and her son and or whatever, I guess they're not really exposed to my type of people. If you get what I mean, they're not really exposed to my type of people. They only see my type of people on the news and whatnot. But that's a conversation for another day. But that's basically what happened. But I am really, really glad. I'm really, really positive. I'm really, really grateful for everything that happened in that time span. The work for a living course, the job, like that time span it was really, really helpful for me. Right? The course really emphasizes that my life is in my own hands, that it is up to me how much money I earn. That is what it emphasizes, right? It reprogrammed reprogram the mind in this thing of sacrificing your time for money. Reprogram the mind of sacrificing your time for money. Whereas at least if you're sacrificing your time for money, at least sacrifice your time on your own terms. Right? Sacrifice your time on your own terms and then get the money. Like that mother that was there at the line with the people that were going for grants, right? So that really shifted me, right? It shifted my mindset. So I again went on this wormhole. I went on this wormhole on the internet, right? From then on YouTube, on Google, I went on this sort of wormhole and I searched and I discovered content creators that encouraged abundance like thinking, right? I discovered content creators like Myron Golden, Alex Harmozy, Dan Coe, Jack Piggott, Stephen Bartlett. Like, I discovered these creators that encourage abundance mindset thinking. Ali Abdal, like, these creators really helped shift my mindset, right? Daniel Priestley. So discovering these creators or these content creators was like, yo, okay, I can also do this, right? I can also position myself to this. Being mindful of everyday thoughts that encourage or discourage abundance was another crucial step. Making sure that my thoughts were always encouraging abundance. Not having negative thoughts that were um, discouraging abundance, right? Having thoughts that encourage abundance and pushed abundance mindset thinking, right? So when it comes to what you have and what you don't have, it is up to you. Everything else is a contributing factor, not a determining factor. When it comes to what you have and what you don't have, it is up to you. Everything else is a contributing factor, not a determining factor. That is an important mindset to have. When it comes to what you have and what you don't have, it is up to you. Everything else is a contributing factor, not a determining factor. Right? Every struggle, every hardship is a contributing factor, not a determining factor. You can always grind your way out of hardship. You can always grind your way out of poverty. Always. Always. There are ways to do it. You just need to have the mindset and the persistence, the persistence mindset, the abundance mindset to know that, yo, whatever I don't have, I will have it. Right? Right.